Yeah, just making sure that you're sitting back, relaxed. Drive safely wherever you are around the country, the continent, as well as the world. You're listening to Marawa Sports Worldwide, hashtag MSW Live on 947. Live on Vuma FM, Rise FM, and on Sowetan Live. Believe you me when I tell you that we can never ever talk about the history of women football in South Africa without mentioning this legend. She was part of Banyana Banyana when very few people, actually cared to focus on the side. And she's one of the founding members of this great team that we now celebrate. I mean, if you think that the challenges Banyana face in today's times are intense, then you certainly missed out on a phase when this legend and many others also faced overwhelming challenges. Yet, guess what? They persevered throughout all of those. Always turned up for the country with incredible strength, commitment, patriotism. They kind of soldiered on, though, to pave the way for today's generation. I guess when you do that, you kind of suffer in order for today's team to succeed. And they, again, doubled up on that. And no doubt, I'm telling you, had she been playing today, would be an extra player powerful. I think we would be so unstoppable because she possessed all of the qualities of a brilliant footballer, dribbling skills. I mean, she had a powerful shot, calculated right foot, good passing ability, artistic. I mean, she had speed on the wing, consistency. There was also a physical, mental strength that she had. And no wonder the nickname Wire. Not too many people get given that nickname, Wire. Every time she was on the pitch, that's what the fans were saying. And just what her last name suggests. Monate fela. An absolute pleasure to have Anna Monate here in studio with us today. My great legend, I bow down, I salute, I welcome you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Robbie. And I'd like to say thank you to the listeners again. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, I mean, it's a great pleasure. And you hearing all of these names, the Tembi Khatlanas of this world, Jermaine Seposinos of this world, they've been coming through, Ayanda Dlaminis of this world. Yes. You know, we've been watching them on TV. They're playing at a World Cup.
Yeah.
Just returned back home. What does this do to an Anna Monate who kind of started this entire thing?
Even today, I come from one of the schools in Eastern, Bazi B schools, I think. I was invited, where I had to do the motivational talk. And it was so touching, honestly speaking. I had a lady by the name of Elna Mahale. She was also, giving something to the school. So I'm always busy. I'm trying to do the best for my country, actually.
Yeah.
To bring another Tembi Khatlani Sopasengwe. There's a lot to talk about it, honestly speaking.
But how were you able to motivate them? Do they understand what you were saying? Do they understand the vision? Do they understand what it is that you possessed and what the current Banyana possess?
Yeah, sometimes when you are with the kids, you need to be at their level.
Yeah.
Make them dance, make them feel wanted, love them, show them that hug, touch them, listen to them, and eventually it will come automatically.
Is it difficult now to sell the women's game to anybody? Is it difficult now to convince people that the women's game in South Africa is possible?
I don't think so anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like yourself, you also played a role, remember?
Yeah, we tried.
We had people such as Ria, Fran, Natasha,
yes,
Desiree Ellis, myself. We still have Tembi Khatlani that is now taking the world by storm. So I think now things is going to be easy.
They didn't take us seriously back then when we tried to bring the likes of yourself, the likes of Desiree, onto the platforms to talk about the women's game. They just thought we were wasting airtime. Why? Please, you're wasting our time. So that was the kind of feedback that we were getting. It was hurting at times, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but I find myself looking at the challenges that I need to overcome.
Yeah.
Actually, at the end of the day, I end up to motivate myself by going back to school and finish my matric, doing teaching, doing psychology sports 101, also playing for the national team. Unfortunately, that time it was very very wrong,
Yeah.
raw. But I said to myself, there's something there under in the tunnel. And you have people like friend where they will toughen you up by say, but they will push you. Where you need to balance, they said South Africans, we are very midget, we are very small. We need to do the push-up, the sit-ups. And remember by then, okay, married with a kid, working at Tunisia, and then I love football.
Yes.
So I said, you know what, Anna? Look at yourself into the mirror and ask yourself, who is this person? Then I said, from now onward, I'm going back to school, I'm going to empower myself, and I'll try to make sure that I enjoy the sport that I love, because it kept me away from a lot of things. I come from Tembisa. You know how Tembisa it is.
Hey.
But it's a beautiful township.
Love it.
There's a lot of talents in Tembisa.
It's vibrant. It's vibrant there.
It is.
I remember the days of Tembisa Classic when we would all go to the Makulong Stadium.
Yes.
And just that history that lived in that area for me was just love. And Abo Sadamake, that's their home at Tembisa.
Yeah.
There's so many players, including the likes
Tumelo,
of
Mufokeng.
yeah, about Jerry as well. You know, somebody that encouraged you
Oh, yes.
and your journey to continue playing
Yes.
football.
Fani Madita.
Yes.
Juri Wantwana. Fortune Koloba.
Wow, fortune.
He was one of my schoolmates, I think.
Are you serious?
Even Jerry Skosana, TKM.
Did James Kosana even pay attention in school? He looks like somebody who pays attention, either falls asleep or walks out.
I never miss a reason. Yeah.
But when you do reflect on that, and you were just touching briefly on Banyana, and did you even get paid, for example? I mean, now we're talking about bonus and what, but as the first batch of Banyana players back then, what were you getting, if anything?
Robbie, I think 2000 in Fos Loras. After that tournament, that's when I get my 18,000.
2,000 rand.
I mean 18,000. That was the year 2000.
Oh, okay.
The year 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we lost in the finals, I still say we won because the game was left with 18 minutes when the riot started
Against Nigeria.
against Nigeria. So that was, I got 18,000 rand. Then I wanted to buy a microwave and the fridge, and they're still working even today.
Both of those.
Yes, and a plasma. So they're still working even today. So
And you still call it a plasma. It shows that you bought it back then.
yeah, my daughter, she just turned 21 last week, and then they're older than her.
I was going to say, people were stealing plasmas to go, smoke the good stuff, apparently, that is inside. Because if you can see, if you press it, ink in there. And it was the craziest thing. So, but 18,000, that was simply because it was a tournament.
Yeah.
But if you had to represent your country, Jay, let's say it was trying to qualify, would they pay you? Would they?
I think the very same year, that's when they started giving us daily allowance. It was 250 rand, if I'm not mistaken.
Daily allowance.
Daily allowance. And then we just soldier on. We were very passionate. Even today, I'm still passionate about representing my country.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be a South African.
And what kind of kit were you wearing?
It was Adidas. 1993 when we, first time in the Banyana Banyana, of which is 30 years now, we were wearing kappa.
But they gave you the leftover jerseys from Bafana.
Yeah. We used to do that. We used to wash the jersey at night.
So
And
Bafana,
one tracksuit for the whole week.
one tracksuit.
Yeah, for the
and
whole week.
leftovers from Bafana. I mean, you'd see, it was like, okay, this is Anna or this is Nok who's wearing, Linda Buthelez's jersey, I can tell, or whatever the case is. But those are the struggles. Those are the kind of stories that are coming up. Any questions, any comments that you do want to put across? As I say, a founder, a stalwart, a legend is here in studio. Yeah, what's up, voice notes, hello. It's a Friday today. Welcome to the show. It is hashtag MSW. It's Legends Night. And of course today, our great legend, and quite aptly so, during Women's Month, we just celebrated Women's Day, and we've been watching Banyana Banyana show us what the women can do on the field of play at an international stage. And what a great moment for all of us to share and celebrate our great legend here in studio.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Fulfilang here, and good evening to all the MSW shoulders, and good evening to your guest, the legend. I would actually want to pose just one question. I mean, looking at the way the women's game is here in South Africa, what does she think needs to improve besides the outcry of women's football must be professionalized? Like, we hear that cry day in, day out, and they should, because they do deserve it. We see what Banyana Banyana is doing. Is she noticing some form of change here in South African football for women especially? And if not, what do you think can be improved in the women's game, especially from the part of SAFA? That's what I want to find out. Great show as always. Thanks.
One of the major shareholders of the show, hey? Hulafalang, thank you so much indeed. Anna Monate, my guest, what do you think needs to be done? You heard that full question. I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, thank you. I think they just need to implement the professional league and have the coaches that have qualified to start running football from school, grassroots. And once you grow up with those kids, then the professionalism will be sustainable, whereby we'll have, from the under 15, the high performance center, knowing that this player, we have a long-term plan development with the right people in the right hands. And players need to be like paid salaries, because we women in the country, even myself, I can't tell how much I have in my bank account. So, but once we start implementing those things, even the coaches will get salaries.
Professionalism, what's stopping us?
I don't know, maybe the corporate people, business guys, they need to intervene and help the women in this country. Because when you look at the performance from Banyana Banyana, it's so wonderful, it's so amazing. The teamwork, the spirit, the fighting, the resilience. Unfortunately, if maybe this team had 6 to 7 years together, we wouldn't concede those kind of goals, but they never stop fighting.
But I can't say it's the corporate world. I think the corporate world sees what Banyana can do. I mean, you've seen Cecil. They've been there. They've stuck it out for many, many years. They could have long disappeared and said, you know what, we're not getting anything in return. Let's leave these ladies. Let's go away. But they've stuck it out.
Sasol has been there for us. And I don't want to lie. It was when I was still with Augustine Makalakalane. So Nukumato, when she became African Queen, I remember I was driving reckless because they wanted to sign the contract. So I had to hijack this 10-111 and from Midrand to Soweto Nike Center. So for Sasol, they've been doing a good job, but we need more of those guys, because we also need the under 13, we also need the under 15, under 17, under 19, under 23. It's quite important. Then Banyana Banyana will be more stronger, honestly speaking. We need a very competitive league. We need people that will say, I'm here, give me the job, give me the opportunity. Let's get the grand spade and work. And then I don't see this country will fail.
I mean, I go back to days where alongside Nokumatlao, you're playing. How does that make you feel? So many years down the line, 2023, she's still out there in Australia, New Zealand, playing a World Cup. She might not have played the first 2 games, for example. Whatever Desiree plays, she plays. But the main thing I'm saying, Osan, is that she's there till today.
Same Nuku.
Yeah.
I remember we were in Tubopedi, Begersford. There was a tournament, we were invited there. Then we went there. And then that's where we met Nuku, and I think it was 2007, if I'm not mistaken. And then since then, and then 2008, I had to take care with the under 20, where we were sent to Angola to present Banyana Banyana, because that year Banyana Banyana were not active. So she was 22 years by that time. It was under red ends. The country was in election fighting. We came back and won that tournament, with the under 17, under 20, Memory Makanya. Yeah, and Nuku was still, even today, she's still the same girl. So I was not surprised when Desiree,
included her
in the squad. I knew that she still have, legs on her side, discipline, dedication.
Regardless of position, though, because it takes a different level of professional to move from being a goal scorer to a defender, basically.
It's a mental aspect.
Yeah.
Dedication, how committed you are. So That's the kind of a player that we need to see more. That is why I spoke about school football, grassroots. Once you grow up with that child until a certain level, highest level, then you'll know that you can move the player around.
You talk about structures.
Yes.
And again, as much as I say you were one of those that laid the foundation for Banyana, you're also one of those that laid the foundation for Sundowns.
Yes.
Sundowns, you look at their success story right now, they top in the table, they've been African champions, but then you go back, under 20, that Kosafa Cup
Yes.
that you won with Noku also by your side.
Yes.
Give me your reaction now when you look at how successful Sundowns is as a women's team. How they got Uprajeri, there's the coach, very energetic, putting his life into the Sundowns ladies. Just give me your thoughts about that, because I just see a major, major development there.
Yeah, I'm very proud of Jerry because he managed to sustain the team, the foundation that is being put down there. And he's also bringing, kind of element in top players. Because for us then, it was not easy to have this thing of winning mentality without a proper structure. And remember, it was under Natasha Chiklas.
Yes.
So I was often having a meeting with her saying, come help me, you said you played in Greece. So I need to have a team that will dominate Tshwane and Johannesburg. And as a winning person, it was not tough for me to recruit from Gauteng, national, and even outside the country.
Yeah.
Because I'm somebody that I hate sleeping. I don't sleep. Because if I'm thinking of something, I'll make sure that I get it.
So there's always thoughts running through your mind.
All the time. And if I'm lacking with something, I'll go and seek for advice. So I'm very, very, very much and proud of what Jerry is doing. And that is why you see Anna Monate now is a SABC analyst.
Yes.
And Anna Monate is now coaching Coal City Wizard because I want to help my country. I was at TUT, I went to UJ,
Yes.
so now I'm at Coal City. You know why? Because the country needs to have players that when they get into the national team, some of the players sometimes don't understand. The coaches will say she's not coachable because you only get the player from the talent.
Yeah.
But come and say to that girl, I know you can play right back. You are not a midfielder.
Yeah.
They need to understand those kind of elements. So by so doing that, where I only sign 1 year contract, is not because I want to be all over. I'm trying to cover the country.
Because there's a lot of talent. And thank you for mentioning that, though, because by covering the entire country, you also came across a unique talent.
Yeah.
She was 13 years old at the time by the name of Spiwe Dludlu. Spiwe Dludlu, as somebody that I've gotten to know, worked with her as an analyst. You were talking about being an analyst on television. Got great insight from her. Great mind, great brain. But man, on the field of play, different class. What was it? What was it about her?
Shoti. I remember we were playing like state games and then we end up in Alexander.
Yeah.
And then there was this guy, gentleman, and then I saw the energy from this girl. She was all over the pitch. And then I said, who's your coach? Our coach Mulabo Putlabo. Then I went to them. I said, guys, tell me, what are you doing with this energy girl?
Yeah.
They were like, no, you can't do that. I was still a player at that time. I said, no, you know what? At Sundowns, we have structure, we take care of the girls, but this one, with the energy, and you can see the potential was there.
Sure.
That's how I managed to get Shoti.
So you convinced them
Yeah,
to
just
let go of her.
yeah, really. Yeah, I'll say that.
As we pay tribute to you, there's a great deal of appreciation back to you from someone.
Hi coach. Ne ke nyaka fela ho no fitisa taba e monate ya hore rena no phelo re botse hore if ko heno ko tswang ko teng ba sa o ruta melao nna mo ko ground yaka ke tlo bontsha tshwantse o no mamela tshwantse o no utlwella and he re sa utlwele no re wetha ka chicken in the oven. With that, coach, I just want to say thank you for the life lessons. You are not just a football coach to us. You were a mother. You were everything that we needed as players growing up under your tutelage. So with that, I just want to say, Modimo a gokeletse, o tswelle pele, keep touching those lives. We started as Banyana Banyana, today re bomme, and some of us are also coaches. So kantho eo ke nyaka hore fela ka leboha thata ne. O tla inahanela hore re tswa ko mang. Sharp coach you.
Shorty, Simpio, thank you so much. Yeah, hey, man. Yeah, it's because you remember, friend used to say, "Are strong."
Yeah.
So abata record, and the time na ya koko gym was not enough. Then if you are not disciplined, I say, "Oh, it's a good time for me." Kira call indirectly.
But I think,
Chicken in the oven.
I know, I was about to say chicken in the oven. That story made me laugh. Thanks so much, Shorty. Thank you very, very much indeed. And long may your career continue. I mean, we see it. We see the discipline. We see the commitment. We see the video posts, the photographic posts that are there in social media. You've been able to handle yourself, and may that star continue to shine. And as we pay tribute to Anna Monate, who's here with us in studio, Mampaki, ne?
Yes.
He chose not to use that name, right?
No.
Is it taboo?
I think, people have always, remember go school and never Peter Tornado.
Yes.
Because Nikishiana.
You're fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then football one pizza wire.
Yeah.
And then the my first thing second and then Kafit. So I never said Kina and Mampaki. But go Safa when I was still at Safa, they used to call me Mampaki Lolo.
I think you confused Home Affairs more than you can confuse any of us here.
Yeah.
But as I say, so many beautiful tributes coming through.
Coach Anna is one of the dedicated coaches this country produced. Most of the national teams, the under 17, under 20 and Banyana Banyana players that you see today went through her coaching at the High Performance Center together with Coach Cheryl Brothers. I still feel she should be giving her service at one of the national teams. I know she is currently assisting a team in the Hollywood League Wizard from Wheatbank. She must continue to give her service in uplifting the standard of football in our country.
You know that voice?
Yes. Australia, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Austria Letwaba says you need to be working in one of the national team structures. Do you agree, disagree?
I agree. When the time is ready, they'll give me a call.
When is that?
My phone is always open.
They clearly don't have airtime to phone you.
But I'm not go Mamelodi.
They don't have GPS. They can't get there.
But let's send somebody.
They don't have anybody.
I'll drive to Safa and say good morning, and from there and say bye-bye.
They say you don't have petrol.
Then it's okay, thank you.
You want to sign me to go because I will find you. I will drop you off at Safa House.
Oh, like as you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you for that.
No, I'm being serious. I'm saying these things because people make excuses as if they don't know where to find you. And it is not the most difficult thing to do that. And I mean, I go back in years and I remember in terms of you one of the first with your coaching badges, where you had your A license. And I think at that time you're going for your pro license, which I'm sure now you do have. I don't know what else you've added on to your repertoire of coaching badges.
Analysis. SABC, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, they said they've been looking for me, they've been monitoring me.
Yeah.
And then they said, come to SABC as a guest, a Spotted 10. But I didn't understand. You have Andile Ngube, you have Vuyiswa, and I'm like, guys, what are you doing, Nenzan? But and I said, you know what? This is a challenge. Let me go back to school because I wanted to go back and do some other things. Then it's part of that because you do the research before you can come to the studio and talk about football, analyze, understand the planning, the players in and out. So I think I'm back to school again and I'm really enjoying that.
How's the makeup?
I got a red lipstick.
Marawa Sports worldwide on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. Are you ready? #MSW.
Good evening, Robert, and good evening to your guest there. Just to ask her one question. Is it advantageous or disadvantageous to have a male as a coach in Banyana Banyana? Just want to know, Robert, because I've been asking myself, how will the girls shape up if they are led by a man? Maybe from her experience, she can allude to that fact. Robert, give them a good show as always. I'm not sexist, hey?
Oh man, what a question. Where do we even start? Do you want to handle that question?
Mina ngikhule namadoda abafana.
Yeah.
And I don't see any problem as long as the men, they have a protocol.
Yes.
They know how to handle themselves. They must forget about the temptations.
Yeah.
They must focus on their job. I coached the boys for 12 years. Started them when they were 14 years. Actually, as we see Sundowns ladies, you see how strong they are. Those girls, they've been helped by those boys because we were training together in the same field in Mamelodi. So as long as you as a coach, you know how to handle the situation, you focus on what you are doing, I don't think these other things will follow.
You were bullied a lot. You were bullied a lot.
Yeah, even today I'm still being bullied.
And you're a straight shooter. You don't take offense to anything you've heard and seen at all, because you being bullied was more a case of, let's say, outward appearance. So people look at you and they say, mchita, type of story, and then they would mock you. They would tease you based on that.
Yeah.
How were you able to absorb that, continue, and still be the best that we ever had?
Remember when I started, I said I look at myself into the mirror.
Yeah.
At some point, Kimangu, is it Anna? Or maybe something else. Why is Anna about to dlala bolo amatha ko skolong? What is a vision? What is a goal? But not knowing that will end up being like this today, where we are competing with the rest of the world in the World Cup, Olympics, and so forth.
Yeah.
So I said, any challenges that come across my face, I look straight into your eyes. That is why I end up doing psychology, so that I can read it from a distance. Yes.
People that want to judge you without knowing you.
No, even today, I normally tell my players, they go and Google me.
Yeah.
Some big people say, hey, kitla Google, kitla wana me out.
Yeah.
But today, we'll Google a 99.
And the stories are there.
And the stories are there because I'm trying to do the best at the end of the day, because of without God, I wouldn't be who I am.
Yeah.
And the belief that I have in myself and the trust. And, every time when I look at people, I start with myself first. Ana Obatlanda, Unyoko Iranda. That is why I can talk a township lingo,
Yes.
so that I can even survive, because sometimes these boys will mark me and say, yeah, then I just come straight to you and say, skip under, so that I change your whatever you were thinking, and that's how I managed to survive my life most of the cases.
Because people are quick to say, you would never ever be married. You would never have kids. Because they always group people and say, oh, you play football, so yeah, you must be lesbian. Am I lying?
You're not.
I mean, those are the perceptions.
Yeah, true.
But how do you wade around those perceptions that exist?
Let me say to you, Abu Dagane, I love music.
Yeah.
And music most of the time is playing a very big part into my thinking, into my planning. Life. It's something that you do like there's this song from Chris de Burgh.
Yes.
Carry Me Like a Fire in Your Heart.
Wow.
That song, it always, if I had challenges, problems, I play that song.
Is it bringing back the memories?
Yeah, and then that's when I start to lift myself.
But what do the lyrics say, though? What is it that gets you
When you
as
listen to
emotional.
Chris de Berg,
Yeah.
I think on that night, it was 1992 back, I couldn't sleep at night.
Yeah.
So I had to tune on TV, SABC2. So this Chris de Berg is saying it was a couple. And then until late in the morning, but the following morning, this guy came crying and said, my wife is no more. And then why? What happened? And then it was like, it's no more. That's when Chris de Berg started writing that song, that Carry Me Like a Fire in Your Heart. And for me, since then, I listen to it when I have challenges, I have problems, that God is the only person that can decide. So if you criticize me, it's okay, it's part of life. If you say, well done, Anna, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that is why my life has been like that. And if something is wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. That is why even when I go wrong, I'll go and consult and say, Coach Karabo knows that. I'll go to him and say, Coach Karabo from UJ, Coach Dumi, help me. Coach Cheryl is my buddy even today, Cheryl Potes. So that song helps me a lot.
Sure. And I'm glad you were able to find something that would carry the weight of that, because at times even, you deciding to get married, you having Joannis as well as Kuto, your two kids, that was a blessing for you.
Yeah, it was. But I wanted to be a
housewife.
Yes. Unfortunately, this world is there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Then I realized that if I cannot go out there, I'm not going to be the happiest woman in this world. Thanks God. So even today, I'm still hustling.
So the idea of being a housewife, impossible.
It's never impossible. As you look at my boy and my daughter.
How old are they now?
Joannis is 34.
Yeah.
Kuzo is just turned 21 last week.
Oh, nice.
So look at the 12-year gap in between, because I couldn't get what I wanted.
Yeah.
Then I had to say, no, Anna, you can't be a housewife. You need to go out there and hustle. Sure. And I did, even today.
There are other people that hustle, that know your hustle even more than I would ever know it.
Wow. Coach Anna, congratulations. You guys were the pioneers, and today women's football is on everyone's lips. And you guys ni vulile indlela, and I would like to say we thank you for your contribution to women's football in this country. And yeah, you're still involved in women's football, and from the work that you guys did a long time ago, today we are proud to say South Africa is performing in women's football. Reale Bukhatata from Nom Samashang.
Another born leader.
Yeah.
Paying tribute to you.
Yeah. Boss lady.
Oh.
Bamita Sasa.
And
After 6 months, kira Sasa ke mambaru ya boss.
Yes.
Boss ya ke Sasa. Who's Sasa? Nom Samashlangu. Thank you, Ausnomsa. Thank you so much.
Beautiful message. Beautiful message. She's delivered on the medals front as well. As I say, you have born leaders. Born leaders. Others get to write their story like this lady.
Well, I'd like to say really well done to Coach Anna Monate. She's been in women's football as long as I can remember. A fantastic Banyana player. Was instrumental in starting the Sundowns ladies team with her husband Akila. She doesn't get too much credit for that, but she did. Was at the HPC, is a SAFA instructor, so she's really put back into the game and still putting back. So from me, Fran, best wishes, Anna, keep going and making a difference.
Fran Hilton Smith, thank you so much.
Thank you, Franzo. Are you still kicking down there?
She's got no choice, Fred.
Thank you.
I think she's going to be traveling soon, if I'm not mistaken. A very busy lady. Maybe also doesn't get as much credit from the South African Football Association. As much as you don't get the credit, and that's why we were talking about what we were talking about, is that in this country, there's an allergy towards people that can do the job. They are allergic, as if they're going to get measles, chicken pox, or some form of breakout. If they say, oh, Anna, please step forward, please help us put the structures. We see the structures at Sundowns, we see the structures and the outcomes at Banyana Banyana. Please come forward and make this permanent. they would never do that. Why?
I wish I know, but from my personal experience, I'm a coach that I want to see people doing good. I won't lie to the players because they are the future leaders. I'll tell them that, listen, if you are here to work, let's work and focus in what we're doing. And that's it. So Coach Anna is somebody that is straightforward. I'm principled, just to shorten that. I'm very much principled. When it comes to my job, I do my job and nothing else.
Before I take the next voice note, a lot of people are sending me messages and saying, I think they want to go and look for the song you mentioned. I remember you saying Christopher. What was the title?
Carry me like a fire, just carry me.
Carry me like a fire. Where? In your heart? Is that the one?
That's the one.
Feel free to sing.
Thank you. I wish.
There is an answer. Someday we will know, and you will ask her why she had to go. We live and die, we love and we cry. You must take away before you can begin to live again. So let it start, my friend, let it start. Let your tears come running from your heart. And when you need a light in the lonely night, carry me like a fire in your heart. Carry me like a fire in your heart. There is a river rolling to the sea. You will be with her for all eternity. But we that remain need you here again. So hold her in your memory and begin to make the shadows disappear. Just let us start, my friend, let us start.
Yeah.
Let the love come running from your heart. And when you need a light in the lonely nights, carry me.
It's our favorite song, man. Christopher. Chris is not only about the lady in red, it's about the lady in, what color is that? Yellow. I say that there's a river rolling to the sea. You'll be with her for all eternity, but we that remain need you here again. So hold her in your memory and begin to make the shadows to disappear.
Yes.
What a way of celebrating Women's Month in having that trailblazer, pathfinder. Abos Anna Rob fought immensely. These are the warriors who we need to celebrate because women's football is this way it is today because of their work and their relentless effort. And I was very touched when I saw Safa announcing the appointment of head of women's football, and it wasn't one of the people who were in the forefront of advocating for women's football in this country. But having said that, I just want to find out from Aus Anna, is it fair for women's football to be measured in the same level of men's football, considering that Banyana have done what not any other sporting code in football has achieved? I just want to hear your views around that. It's Tebogo here, wishing you all the best.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. I've got a minute left. Are you able to wrap up that question, a very important one from Tebogo?
It's a very tough one, to be honest. SAFA is our mother body, is a federation. And I mean, I'm not administrator. I'm very sorry, but I need to be honest.
Yes.
I'm always on a dusty ground. that's where I belong, and I think maybe they have an answer for that. But thank you so much, my brother. Thanks for believing in us. I wish I can give you the right answer.
Oh, man. You go back to a very first game that you played for Banyana against Swaziland, 31st of May, 1993. South Africa 14, Swaziland 0.
Yeah.
That was the score. And we're not talking about the Rugby World Cup. That's still to come. Mama Anna Monate, thank you so much indeed. You've been an absolute pleasure. I'd have loved to chat to you for more and more and more. And thanks to all the tributes that were paid. Thanks, Fran Hilton Smith. Thanks, Mpiwe Dludlu, Riele Dwaba, Nomsa Mahlangu, everybody else that sent their voice notes. You guys are champs. Have a super weekend and enjoy Women's Month.
Thank you. And happy Women's Month to all these listeners. Thank you.
Robert Marawa, live on 947.